Welcome back to our channel. We're going to show you today how to change out an old set of blinds. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you learned something today. So let's get started. If you're like me and most other people, when they start a project and you see these directions, like, oh my goodness, it seems like it's overwhelming and all these pieces and parts laying around. But you know what? I'm going to make this very easy for you to where you don't have to worry about looking at the directions. I picked this up at Lowe's the other night, and it's the pretty decent set of blinds, pretty decent quality for the cost. I think this set only run me is less than $10, but the 27-inch. So the easiest way to put a blind up so you make sure you have it in the center is put a mark here in the middle. You measure the overall length and you put a mark in the middle, and you measure the opening of your window and put a mark in the middle up there also. And our window is 24 inches, and we made a mark at 12 inches. Now we lined up the two marks, and so what we'll do on each end is we're going to make a mark right there on that side, and then make a mark on this side. I won't be able to do it with one hand, so that's where I'll put the marks. That way we know where the brackets are going to go on the end. So there's our marks on that side and our marks on that side. Now that you have it centered up, then you have to decide, how high do I want this blind? For me, I'm just going to put it down against the trim of the window. That way I know it's level. But if you like it a little higher, then you just kind of measure up on both sides, or measure down on both sides to get it level. And then we'll go ahead and put the brackets on. So there's four screws of each, 5 screws. The larger screws are going to go with the brackets, and the smaller screws are going to go for those brackets on the bottom. So we need to drill holes. So we need to figure out which drill bit is closest to it. And you want to make the hole a little bit smaller than the screw. That way the threads on the screw can grip. So I would suggest either using 1/16 or 5/64 screw. So we'll probably just use a 5/64. So what we want to do next is put your brackets up there. I don't necessarily want it clear down real far. I want to keep it up just a little bit, but make sure you do it the same on both sides. But it's not real critical, because when I trace these holes, that gives you a little bit of leeway when you put the screw in. That if you don't get the screw exactly the right height up and down, that'll allow you a little bit of play. So I'm gonna drill the hole in the middle. And then we put in the last screw. Some of you might be asking, why don't you use a drill and run it in? Yeah, that would be quicker, but then you run the risk of stripping it out when it bottoms out. So you have to really be careful. So you can do it either way, whatever's your preference. Okay, kind of see how the brackets are on there for the left side, and then on the right side. Now we're going to pick up the blind, and make sure you have that round silver piece out there, because that's how you're going to turn the louvers. So you don't want it turned around the wrong way like that. Kind of hard to hook this on and hold the phone at the same time, but basically, as the picture shows, you hook the top of the blind on that lip on top of the bracket and then curve it down around and snap it in underneath. And so there's how it's locked in there. It's clipped in under that top front edge and then snapped into place on the bottom against the wall or the door. So there you go. Now we can run that up and down like this. Don't forget to put on this louver piece. Kind of put it up through like that. That way when you pull this down, you can turn that clockwise and run the louvers down like that and run it up, and there's no cords. So for you this might be okay, but I recommend putting these little tabs on here on each side. That way you just screw them in. You can kind of measure it, how wide this is, to know exactly where to put it. And what this does is, like right now, I don't know if you can hear the wind as I'm recording this, but the wind would destroy your blinds when my garage door is open. So we'll go ahead and put that in there now. And then go ahead and put the 2 screws in. Okay, we got the bottom bracket in over there, and the first one we already put on. And here I wanted to show you, see how it's important to not to run them in with the drill, because even doing it by hand, I still did it a little bit too tight. You can kind of see that little crack right there. So hopefully this doesn't break prematurely, but that's a little hint of what not to do. So now that we got that down, slide that in that hole like that, and then on this side, kind of press that out, and you can kind of use, it's harder to do with one hand since I'm holding my camera, but kind of push out on it, snaps there into place, just like that. Nice job. And so now you don't have to worry about this all blowing. So now let's inspect. Look that up, and that's on. You can turn this counterclockwise to open up the blinds, or if you like them turned the other way, keep turning counterclockwise. I think I like mine that way because it looks nicer from the outside. Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something. And on your way out, make sure you click on that thumbs up button, because that helps us help you. Until the next time, and make sure you subscribe, that way you don't miss out on any other new It Yourself videos. Until the next time, have a good day.